This week's episode is about working together to make something new. As you can see, we are shooting this episode in our future living room, which is currently still under construction. I'm Rachael Keefe, and this is Monday's Muse. So this week's project is to continue to upgrade the fireplace. As you can see, there's a brand new door to replace the one that was put in the 50s when the house was built. And we've put some polished granite on the floor because there was nothing to protect the floor here, because in those days you didn't need any space between your wood floor and your hot fire. Not sure why. So we've put down that, and then we have this great 1950 style stone fireplace, which we really like and want to keep. Except this little ledge here is kind of beaten up. So we've decided to also put the granite tile right here on this ledge. And that means we needed a wet saw. And our budget didn't really accommodate this kind of thing. So we went and we purchased a wet saw for $35 that says it will in fact cut stone. But wait till you see how it works, because it presented a bit of a challenge. So we're going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to show you our wet saw setup and how it works. So here you see our wet saw. Normally you would have it up on the counter, but when you buy the really inexpensive wet saw, things happen. So I'm just going to show you what happens when we turn this on, and it'll explain why it's on the floor. Ready? So what you saw was how much this wet saw moved itself across the floor. So what should be a one-person job now becomes at least a two-person job. So you are about to see my wife's feet come over here to hold the saw in place while we cut the tile we need to fix the shelf on the fireplace. So here we have the first of many cuts that will be needed to improve the looks of the fireplace. Now, obviously, this couldn't have happened if I were doing it on my own. I needed help. And it's a great reminder for this coming week. This week that begins with our services of remembrance and celebration of MLK, and moves on through to inaugural weekend, where there's all kinds of marches and protests, the Women's March in Washington and throughout the country, and so many other ways to get involved to go about building the beloved community that MLK preached about and spoke about so often. We cannot do this on our own. We cannot make something new out of what currently is without working together, pooling our resources, using what we have in what is to make something new that brings about that vision of beloved community that the world so desperately needs today. So I'm hoping that if you are watching on YouTube, you will add in the comments below ways in which you joined together with others, pooled your resources to make a difference in the world. It's something we all need to do this week, and not just this week, but every week, to share our resources, work together to make something new that honors God's dream for the whole of creation. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.